About to flip after the 4th of July. It's going to send the heat back to the west. It'll still be hot in the east, just not as hot. What's going on, guys? Certified meteorologist Jonathan Keg is back with you. We also have something major developing in the western Pacific. Super typhoon likely going to threaten Guam this weekend. Could rival some of the strongest on record. If you're more interested in that content, I'm going to have the chapters in the description so you can bounce around. But we're going to start with the temperatures. Of course, it's going to be blazing hot through the 4th in the east. This is the temperature outlook from July 9th through July 13th. And you see that big red bullseye over the Intermountain West, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, parts of Montana, and then also Florida. We're going to get back to super hot status as well as we move into the second week of July. So it's all because of the jet stream again. That big ridge of high pressure is going to collapse in the east, and then it's going to focus itself back towards the west. On this graphic, this is the jet stream. And again, we are looking where the oranges and yellows are showing up. So this is Tuesday, July 7th, and there is our nice big chunk of high pressure developing at about 15 to 20,000 feet above your head. That's going to cause air to sink. And when it does that, it dries out and warms up. So I'm also concerned about that critical fire weather coming back for us in the desert Southwest in parts of the northern plains as well. So something to keep in mind as we move forward into the second week of July. You see that orange gets a little more expansive as we get towards the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Some record high temperatures could be possible as we get into that venture in the west. As far as the holiday weekend, we've been advertising this for about 2 weeks. 101 in Charlotte, that'd be a new record. 104 in Roanoke, that'd be a new record. Super hot in Pittsburgh, New York City, Bangor, Maine, 90 degrees. We're still chilly in Las Vegas. That blue represents below normal temperatures. Of course, it's still hot, but not as hot as what it normally is. As we move towards July 8th, that's when we get triple-digit heat back towards the 110 ballpark in Las Vegas. That's now above normal. Salt Lake City, we're at 98. Once we get towards the 10th, 11th, and 12th again, we could be pushing 105 to 110 in places like Boise and Salt Lake City. So some big-time heat coming as we get into post the 4th of July. Here it is. If you're with me, post in the comments where you're tuning in from and what the weather is doing where you're watching from. This is it. The Atlantic is quiet. This is the El Nino pattern now on full display as multiple storms have already formed in the eastern and western Pacific, and it is crickets on the Atlantic side. This is Bobby as of the 11 o'clock Eastern time advisory, 145 mile per hour storm, rapid intensification of there is Guam right here, and we're going to be watching that push forward and close to the Mariana Islands as well over the weekend, likely as a super typhoon and likely a category 5 hurricane equivalent, what we would use in the Atlantic. They have different scales in the Western Pacific as far as their typhoon, super typhoon, but we use categories on the Atlantic side, and that is the forecast from a Atlantic hurricane perspective. There again is Guam, right there as you get towards Sunday at 8 p.m. Keep in mind, this is Eastern time. So shave off about 12 hours again, and you're looking at it as we move into the to the morning hours of Monday. Regardless, late Sunday into early Monday, looking at some nasty conditions for Guam and the Mariana Islands, and continuing to stay very, very strong. I think this largely misses Manila, at least the core, certainly the part of the Philippines. And then we'd be looking for potential impacts on Taiwan, Eastern China, maybe Southern Japan as we move to the next couple of days. I want to show you a couple of different things first and foremost. We're going to go to the other weather computer, bring up the Google DeepMind AI model. It was the best performing model. It didn't do well sniffing out that thing off the southeast corner of the United States, but for this instances, I'm putting the stock back in it. This is going to be on July 5th. So this is going to be the morning of July 5th. All that pink represents each one of the members' idea for its track and pressure. We have some that are super low, 909, 912, 910, 926, 929. That's Cat 5 equivalent. You see some members have it going on the northern side of Guam, which is right down here, and then most of them have them kind of plowing right through the Mariana Islands. So something to keep in mind again if you're watching from those areas or a family out in that direction or just curious as to what is happening with this thing. Let me take this further out to kind of show you where then the